Hi, today I'm walking the NEV COLE WAY Part 3, catching the train at New Holland to Barton upon Humber, and from Barton upon Humber I'm walking back to New Holland. The train is at 11:39, it should take about 10 minutes, it costs £2.05 with a rail card, so not too bad. Now on New Holland station, waiting the train from Killingholme, and just a 10-minute journey. Here used to be a train that went onto the pier at New Holland. It used to be double track, and it used to go over to the right over there onto the pier, where there used to be a ferry over to Hull. Signals up. Nice refurbished Eastman.
This train is for Barton upon Humber.
Now walk to the Humber bank to join the NEV COLE Way. So besides Tesco's, and then north along this lane to the Humber bank, next to the visitor centre. So don't forget, if you want to see the section of the NEV COLE Way between Wintringham and Barton upon Humber, you can see the Viking Way episode 1. There will be a link in the description. The bit between Wintringham and South Ferry is not included due to the footpath being closed. So don't forget to look. Some old boats. It's low tide now, so Humber's well out, exposing all the mud flats. So NEV COLE Way goes at headland there, under the bridge. Then you walk along there, over the footbridge, and back around here to follow the Humber bank. And that's the Water's Edge Visitor Centre. All about the wildlife in the area. And as you can see, that's the Humber Bridge across to Hessel in Yorkshire. So we're now in Lincolnshire, and that is Yorkshire. We continue east, and there's Yorkshire Rolls behind the bridge. What a mighty fine sight. So don't forget to watch the Viking Way episode 1 in my videos list to see the section from here to South Ferry. No point in repeating it. So that's New Holland Pier sticking out over there, and that's the way you used to go across the Humber on the Humber paddle steamers. I think those high buildings over there are actually for the wind turbine construction, and the rectangular block is the Hull Royal Infirmary. So Hull is quite a flat city, as you can see. North Sea Ferries also visible to the right of those tall structures. If you want a cafe, there's one in the Water's Edge Visitor Centre. And here's a notice board about the Humber estuary. Pause if you want to read it. It's the view looking back. So remember, on the last episode we were at that peninsula sticking out at Whitton, straight ahead, on the other side of Reed's Island. So the Humber swings around to the right. And it also swings to the right ahead of us as well. So it's a few miles now to New Holland. Not too far today. So it's quite a pleasant walk this lunchtime. It's a bit warm, but it's doable. But it's good to be out walking with you today. It's very, very good. So to the right, beside the Humber bank, there's lots of ponds, and they're for the old brickwrecks. Straight ahead I can see a chimney from the old brickwrecks. So behind these hedges it's all now nicely conserved for wildlife. That's quite good. And here's a contraption to stop the motorbikes going along, but still allows cyclists. A bit narrow, and I can't fit through. So that's where we come from, Water's Edge. Hello. So here I am sat on a seat looking at the view. I thought I'd take it a bit easier today after last time, because last time I suffered for days on end. Really did. Really bad. So hopefully I'll do shorter walks and rest more. It might help. So those brickwrecks are still open. You can see all the mounds of clay used in the making of the bricks. Yeah, it's quite unusual to have them still open, normally shut down. And I guess that's all the bricks they make. The tiles. The tile and brickwrecks. So the Humber bank here goes to the right and then to the left. There's a nice breeze here to cool me down. Very pleasant. As we pass the tile works. So it's William Blythe Barker Old English pan tiles. That's an interesting place to live, right next to the Humber. Some kind of mechanism here, or it's some kind of floodgate or something. If you want to find out more, click on the, scan the QR code. But we go straight on. Nice dragonfly here, look at that, beauty. Wonder if you'll see a NEV COLE WAY sign today. Would be nice for a thumbnail. Big lake over there with boats on it. So that used to be an old pond that they extracted the clay, but now it's filled up with water and becomes a. Does it say NEV COLE WAY? I would say not, but he is hoping. Let's see. No, oh, England, King Charles III, England Coast Path. Oh, wait. What we found here, this is brilliant. NEV COLE WAY. And there you have it. There. First time I've seen a King Charles III English Coast Path sign. The reeds are blowing, but it's very warm. I'm sweating. Good job there's a breeze. Very strange sensation just then. Felt like the whole world was going to the right. It's like a dizzy. Not like a dizzy, it's more like the whole world shifted. Really odd. And that's a nice lake. Hopefully get some wind in a minute. There's certainly wind on the lake. The other side of that lake is the railway line, Barton upon Humber branch line. So we're coming to the end of Barton, kind of there. Nice breeze now. And there's Hull. What's dull about Hull? It looks a bit dull today. And the bridge slowly goes bye-bye. But it'll be a while yet before we see it, the end of it. Some kind of marina here where the yachts can launch, and some swans. It's certainly choppy. I was thinking about cycling along here, but I thought the walk would create a better video, let's say. But it does, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's the North Lincolnshire and Humberside Sailing Club. You can hear all the sails clanging. Playing music. So the next village to our right is Barrow upon Humber. I can just see the church tower, but I doubt you can. That's the end of that lake, and then there's another lake on the right. So just about all the way from just past South Herby to Barrow Haven is a series of lakes from past industry. And there's the next lake, full of ducks and such like. A little zigzaggy. And look, there's another lake after this one. And you can see houses from the Barrow Haven area and the cranes. Soon be there. family of swans down there. To the right, and then to the left, and then to the right again. There. And here's the next lake. Looks like do ski jumping here. Water skiing. There you go. That way. And there's a Humber light vessel. Opposite Hazel. That's the red thing over there, yeah, if you didn't know. And that along there is the old St Andrew's Dock. Used to be a big fishing port, not anymore. No fishing hole these days at all. So here, guess what? We go to the right and then to the left. I do like going to the right and to the left, I do. And I also like clangy gates and sheep. But there's none of those at the moment. And I think quite unlikely, unless there's one at Barrow Haven. Bit of a mobile homes park here, small one. And here's number 13 on the Water's Edge Trail. Telephone cable. So here's Barrow Haven. Big wood yard here. We go inland a touch as far as the railway, crossover and back over there. So that's the railway to Barton and Cleethorpes. A 2-hourly service run by East Midlands Railway. And the train I was just on has been recently refurbished. Very nice. Has USB-C, B and 3-pin sockets. That's very good. Some old boats again. There's a clangy gate. A clangy gate. Oh my gosh. I think it's, yeah. And then you go on the left side of the bridge, beside the railway. Oh no. Yes it is. Yes. Listen, listen. Well, not great. So that's Barrow Haven train station, recently remodernised. Northern Soul Antiguan boats. No, it's not a very clangy gate, this one. Only partially. It'll do. Better than nothing, isn't it? Look. It's still bang. Woo, yes. And that's the straight line back down to Barton, downhill. And that way to New Holland. That's where it just came along. It's about the halfway point. There is a free car park here if you want to break your journey, or go by train one way and walk back. So that's the road, and that's the station. We go this way. Ah, look, NEV COLE WAY yet again. Pedestrians straight on. At the old ferry wharf. Pedestrians. balsa wood. So it's product of Latvia. I was only watching yesterday some people walking in a straight line across Latvia. Tommy T YouTubers. There's the bridge, that's where we were. There's a telephone cable sign. So the bridge is getting further away. Smell of creosote here at the timber yard. Humber's still going out. It'll soon come back up there. It's a very tidal river. More lakes. So the brickyards continue. This is a much quieter section because you don't get the people from the Humber Bridge area doing the water's edge walks. So if you want a quiet stroll, this is definitely the place to go. Between here and Grimsby, it's very quiet. With some fine views. If you like a river and flowing water. Lots of that around here. See, the Humber bank now is like this stone covered in tar. It's like this for quite a while now. It seems to work. Little gateway here. More brickworks, tile works, and there's some tiles on the bank. There's a seat over there. We can have a sit down and look where we are. Opposite Hull. You can see the football stadium with the triangular roof. See it? Yeah, that's definitely construction for wind turbine towers. On the old, possibly on Queen's Dock. I think it's by Siemens. And the P&O ferry is on St George Dock, and that goes across to Rotterdam. Used to be a ferry down to Zeebrugge in Belgium, but not anymore. The path changes here to chalky type. Often when I walk, I don't sit down, I just keep on plodding, but I now have to because I'm looking towards the Yorkshire Roads and the Humber Bridge. So straight across there is the deep and the tidal barrier for the River Hull. Such a small river in comparison to the River Humber, but it certainly needs that barrier. You need to remember it floods quite often in the centre of Hull. Right, let's continue. Taken off one top, a bit cooler now, much better. Quite a pretty lake to my right. Lots of little islands and boating platforms or fishing. New Holland is coming into view quite clearly now as we approach it. It's quite an industrial place. here's another seat with a view. I will not sit on this one. There's another buoy, the red thing. And there's another one under the pier. Just lost my mic, found it. Ah, dear. So, New Holland Pier, yes. It used to be a railway line to the end, and the station was called New Holland Pier. It was a fine building. It used to float up and down with the tide. Paddle steamers and diesel powered steamers used to go back and forth between the old town straight opposite to here. And it was actually called the A15, and it used to go into the centre hull up Ludgate. It was quite a frequent car service ferry, going backwards and forwards, and it was part of Sea-Link, that was part of British Rail. So yeah, you used to get DMUs going to the pier head along there. Really exciting as a child doing that, going across on the ferry thing, on the train. Really good fun. Used to love it. So I used to have, I remember ferries called Lincoln Castle and Farringford. I was on the last crossing on the Lincoln Castle. So yeah, interesting times, long gone. They now seem to use it some kind of, is it grain or silos of some kind? But it's nice to see it's still used. Some cattle over there called Galloways, the white stripe. Another house on the Humber bank. And another lake on the edge of New Holland. Another little seat. And guess what? Here we go to the right and then to the left. And then there's a seat with the view. And a stony track with the grass on the edge. Splendiferous, incredulous, isn't it? Indeed. So, final straight stretch to those silos. Then the track goes inland into the village, then back out again. Looking back at the bridge now, it's getting further and further away. Let's go downhill. A few years ago, I would have just walked all the way from South Ferriby to probably East Halton, near North Killingholme. But I just can't do that anymore. Such a shame. But I can still walk, so that is good. Even upside down. And around and around and around. So it's quite a hidden car park here. You can get to it from New Holland station if you turn right along a very narrow road. And it comes out here. It's quite hard to find it. Good luck. So now we leave the Humber and go inland to the right. little weather station. So at the end of there we go left. So this is where we go left. Now on a semi-tarmac road. So this road continues to the end of these sheds. It joins the old A15. There's an old semaphore signal. Old wooden track. Ah, there's a train coming. Quite lucky. That's probably the same train that's gone back to Cleethorpes from Barton, and now it's going back towards Barton again. So it's backs and forwards shuttle all day long. There it is. So I reckon that's taken me 2 hours to do that walk. Barrow Road crossing. So NEV COLE WAY. So here we go left, and there's a footpath to the right. Bit of an unusual path as it winds through the industrial park at New Holland. So pedestrian walkways at the far end. That's the path in between the two amber lines. And straight on we go. So I continued the walk a couple of days later. It's a different shirt on today. So from New Holland to East Halton, Skitter. My car is parked there. I was dropped off at New Holland. So that's good. So ahead of me I can see a public footpath on some kind of embankment. So it looks like we go to the right. Bit overgrown here. This is, oh, lots of brambles there, look. This must be the most overgrown section of the NEV COLE WAY so far. Prickly rose. nice though. Helps to shield the industry nearby. So it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and it's the 9th of August. So the first half of the video was on the 7th of August. So now just continuing today. Nice, that's quite nice considering. So this path gradually goes towards the Humber bank, which you should emerge at very soon. To my right is a lorry park and timber processing area. Ooh, I can see the Humber. Let's have a look. So there is, you can see that wind turbine factory again straight ahead. So it goes to the left here. Then it's sharp 10 to the right, opposite the centre hull. You can see the Barton Street flats. Very overgrown here, but not too bad. It's all doable, not a big deal at all. And there's the Hull Royal Infirmary straight ahead. Not sure what that circular cylinder thing is. And then we're back on the Humber bank, and there's a dog racing towards me. But it's behind the fence, thankfully. This is much more open than previously. Let's have a look. So there's the new Holland pier. Still got its old wooden timbers there, and the Humber Bridge in the background. You can see the cars on the A63 South Docks Cloud Sullivan Way, straight ahead on the other side of the river. Seagulls singing, and straight over there is the the flood barrier and the sea aquarium. I can't remember what it's called. That's ridiculous. The deep. Oh God, can't believe I forgot that. That's crazy. So following the Humber bank, there's Queen Elizabeth Dock where the wind turbine has been built. King George Dock where the pier and the ferries. That goes to Holland straight ahead. Should be able to make it out. And the rest of King George Dock and Salt End Chemical Works, where the cooling towers are. To my right is just some industrial park and a little lake. We go straight ahead. You might be able to make it out in the distance. The river Humber estuary swings around to the right, so it starts going to the southeast over there. A big wide section onward towards Grimsby. Made out of that tarmac again, all the way along there. Old wet boats down there as well. Tide's quite low. Looks like it's coming in. And there's that pond on the right. Very nice. So today the wind is behind me, so it's quite refreshing. It's a warm day, about 23 degrees, but tomorrow gets even hotter. And they are predicting like 33 degrees on Wednesday in a few days' time. So I'm glad I'm not walking on that day. Well, I wouldn't. Simple as that. Too hot. So now, the end of New Holland into a complex of fields. You can see why it's called Holland. And over there in the distance is North Killingholme. Believe it or not, NEV COLE WAY goes near those chimneys over there. So it swings all the way around. Follows the Humber bank to a straight line that direction. Then we go inland to those chimneys. You'll see what I mean later by the bend in the river. You can hear the waves. Looking back, a bit more spectacular. New Holland Pier with the Humber Bridge behind it. So I think these ferries going backwards and forwards. What a shame it doesn't anymore. Be a good tourist attraction. But in fact, I cannot see one boat on the River Humber. Look at that, not one. I guess it's due to low tide. The Humber is extremely tidal, with many whirlpools and rip currents of all kinds. Sandbanks, wood banks, you name it, it's there. So if you stand in that mud just there, you'll sink a long way and you'll never be seen again and be eaten by the eels. So there's another house over there in the distance. Looking back, there's New Holland. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. North Lincolnshire Council. And there's a footpath going south. If you want a lonely walk, this is definitely the place to go. There's also lots of timber for your fire. Little rocky outcrop there. Maybe they used to launch little boats from here, opposite Albert Dock. It's funny really, because here it's really rural and quiet, and just across there is the city of Hull. It's quite unusual. If this was Liverpool, this side of the Mersey would be really busy and built up, urban, but Hull is very different. It goes from there to there, then you got the Yorkshire Roads in the background behind Hull. Very densely packed population. So here we go left and then to the right. Closer to the mud. Some restaurants actually sell Humber mud pie. Very tasty. Some kind of platform out there, don't know what it is, and a light vessel. Straight opposite the deep now. It's a lovely breeze. So this area is called Quebec Cottages, and there used to be another tile works back there. This whole area along the Humber bank is renowned for old brick and tile works, and they continue even this far east. There's a rail tour in October that is called the Brick and Tiles Tour, and it goes from near London up to Cleethorpes via various interesting routes, and it also a tour around Immingham and Barton upon Humber, hauled by a Class 37. I would love to do that. So here a little bit sticks out, and quite straight really, isn't it? We go to the right and then to the left. Right in the distance, you might be able to make out some buildings. That's where the Humber sticks out and it bends to the right. Looks like a long way, but it's not as far as it looks. My leg has now gone numb, right hand side. It always seems to now. When I go walking, I'll stand still for a long time. So I think I'll have to get that checked out soon. Not only does it go numb, sometimes I get very sharp spasms in my calf. So there could be some kind of blockage going on. We shall see. Again, we shall see. Hopefully nothing. Only one way to find out there. It's turned very grassy to my left now. Quite a nice sound with the wind whistling through it. This is a lovely walk to get away from it all. It really is. Should come here more often. So quiet. So as I said earlier, if you want a peaceful walk, do the Humber section of the NEV COLE WAY. It's wonderful. Look at the P&O ferry now in the bright sunshine, where all around is in the shade. Looks great. Straight across you can see Holy Trinity Church, the Deep, and the centre of Hull. It's quite a nice place to look around if you ever go to Hull. It's really quite interesting, a lot of history, especially that bit across from us here. And the thing about Hull, which I used to live, it's very close to the countryside. You don't have all the suburbia like you do in southern England. Like just over there, look. Just there is the Yorkshire Roads, which are really good. You used to be able to see the green dome of Halton Road Prison, but I think it's now obstructed by that wind turbine complex. Never mind. Fancy house over there, must have great views from there. Imagine waking up every morning, looking across the river, seeing boats going along, and with Hull in the background, watching the weather. Great place. So now there's a straight section on this grassy bank. I see a human being. Oh dear. First one, another fishing pond on the right. And a gateway. Don't forget, this is also the English coast path. Not many signs though. So that's where you used to go through there. Looks like some kind of building being demolished here. And another straight section to the headland where that house is. You can drive to that house if you want to do a circular walk or linear there and back. You can park there and have a stroll on the Humber bank. Seagulls. Humber Bridge fading away into the distance. New Holland Pier hardly visible. Old shipwreck there. And that platform also going into the distance. Tractor in the fields. So here there's two paths. I think I will follow the lower path. Up we go, back onto the bank. To the left, and then to the right. That's a nice viewpoint here. A few good viewpoints along here. Looking down the Humber. Or is it up the Humber? Ah, all that way. So that land in the distance that sticks out, that's over towards Britain. A long way away now, isn't it? Wow. And a bit of activity here, a bit of civilization. So a few people live here at Goxhill Haven, and a few cars parked. So it's quite a high bank here to protect the houses. And there's like 3 or 4 little headlands. And the haven itself. As the river curls to the right. Very interesting point on the NEV COLE Way. Look, there's the haven going in there, being blocked off now. It's called the Goxhill Haven Outfall. So there's a tarmac road that leads to here, and you can park to go for a walk. It's a bit out in the sticks, but very nice. So in this park on there where that blue car is, not many spaces, but there's a few. Nice just to come out and just to look at the view, then go back again if you live locally. Watch the ferry sail off every evening and come every morning. You get a lot more shipping on a weekday, but with it being a Saturday, it's relatively quiet and it's not high tide yet, so shipping won't come down yet. Can't really bring the big ships down here. At low tide, you get stuck on the banks. There's a nice farm, Haven Farm. But that place has seen some weather. Imagine the westerly storms along here. Nice place this, I like it. Don't you agree? Send a message if you agree. Would you like to come here? Ah, I see humans ahead. 2 of them. Hopefully civilized people. So you can see the river bending now to the right. See, look, go down there. It actually goes over there. There are a few little zigzags here, and on the second zigzag is where it probably goes southeast, and then about half a mile, and then it goes even more southeast, if that makes sense. Maybe it goes east-southeast here and southeast further along. Yeah. Look at that, right opposite the turbine factory now. Quite clearly see what it is now. But obviously, since we're going to go to the right, the orientation of the north bank will change quite dramatically, and we will be opposite Paul, a little village to the east of Hull. So yeah, there's a little headland here, and there's another one just further along. Couple walking a dog down there. That's total people equals 3. Let's have a look at the view from this headland. Man-made headland, albeit. So that's Paul in the sunshine. Now if you look back you can't see the bend, but you'll see it more just down here. So here, guess what? Guess what we do here? Can you guess? You got it! We go to the left, and then we go to the right. Hey, hey. Well done. Gazoom! Right opposite the P&O. And then the gazoom. But we have to look back. Whee! You can quite clearly see the bend now. If you look at the Humber as well, you can see how the current gets much worse around the bend. I'll try not to go around the bend myself. But I will go around the bend, but not actually go around the bend as in mentally around the bend, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I am going to go around the bend though. Yeah, just a little bit. But I have to go around the bend in order to get to the end point. So yeah, I will go around the bend, but not literally go around the bend. Yeah? Got it? Good. There's our palm tree down there, going horizontally, like on the Maldives. Looks like it, doesn't it? Just lost its coconuts. There's Salt End. Oh, look at that bend now. Whoa. Just look. Sweeping bends or bend points. And look, we have kelp, seaweed. So the water must be getting saltier. Look at the current out there, wow, like a rapid. And look towards the Yorkshire Roads now and the Humber Bridge. You have to go across the land now in a straight line to get to the bridge, because the sweeping bend continues. Quite amazing. So just over there, we'll be further around the bend. There's another big bend after Grimsby, down towards Cleethorpes to the mouth of the Humber. You can see a ship straight ahead as well. So it looks like now we kind of go straight, kind of at the end of the bend anyway. As you can see, if you look back, you can't see right around to the Humber Bridge anymore. So here, a gradual bend to the left. Opposite is Paul, village of Paul, and the Second World War fortifications. Yeah, there's trees. So opposite now, it's pretty much rural, and the Vale of Holderness. The area straight ahead is called Sunk Island, mainly farmland. So you quickly switch from urban to rural on the opposite bank, just like this side. This side tends now to go from rural to industry towards North Killingholme. At North Killingholme is where the NEV COLE WAY leaves the Humber and goes inland. It's a bit nicer along here. It's grassy, not stony like it was just earlier. So it's a bit soft on the feet. But it's nice to have the contrast anyway. There's reeds and I'm much taller, and the path goes further to the right. And it seems to run parallel to the Humber bank, so that suggests we're still turning on the river. Yeah, I can see the Grimsby Docks area now, Immingham and so forth. Immingham Docks, straight ahead. We should soon see the port at North Killingholme, but we still have to go further to the right. So maybe after those trees. And there's Salt End, opposite. And you can see Headon Church. Is that called the Queen of Holderness or something? I think it is. Piena Ferry is now almost behind us, and Hull and the Deep is there, look. Parallel with the land. Well, in line with the land. I said it's funny because look, to the left of me is the River Humber estuary going out towards the sea, and you swing around, yeah, just along here, and to my right, behind those bushes, is the Humber Bridge. So now the Humber Bridge is on my right. So it's swung all the way around, and the Lincolnshire Wolds in distance. So there's the south bank and there's the north bank of the Humber Bridge across the land. So to get to that north bank, you've got to go across the river, obviously. And we're still turning to the right, along here. Wow, look at that. So, what can we see? There's a ship straight ahead. That's at North Killingholme Terminal. They tend to load and unload lots and lots of new cars. There's cylinder-shaped industrial buildings. I believe is near the coal terminal of Immingham, and there used to be a lot of imports of coal from there. Not so much these days. There used to be piles of it stacked high. But first we go to the right and then to the left. See now, although we're on the Humber bank, we are going southeast, and we can see the chimneys of the oil refineries at North Killingholme. So it becomes very industrial soon. But thankfully the NEV COLE WAY leaves the industry behind once we get there. So it's quite a wide section here between the Humber and the actual flood bank. So we cannot be far from Skitter Point, Skitter Nest, whatever it's called. Probably on those distant bushes. So here we go to the left. That'll be the last time that I go to the right, except in any inlets and havens for now. Because the bank goes pretty much in a straight line here, except for where the car is parked. Let's have a look around. So swing around now, and the P&O ferry is gone behind the bushes, and you cannot see any further along to the west. It's all turned very rural. Very nice. You can now see lots of ships on the mouth of the Humber coming up on the tide. And here's the gas pipeline. Okay, the end is where those bushes are, because I recognise a little barrier, yellow barrier, and that is just where I am parked. So another straight bit, and then we'll be there. Got two fields, and the Humber is out that way. If you come along here, beware, there's quite a pond, some kind of sewage treatment works, or the farmer, I don't know, but it stinks. Is that a camper van? And a dog? Looks like it. So a gas main, ponds to my left now, and there's a first boat on the Humber, a small little craft. P&O ferry fading into the distance, and some bigger ships started to come in up the tide. That tide is definitely coming in fast. Amazing how fast it comes in. Here is East Halton Skitter. See, it's already filling up, and that's why the ships are coming in. We go down here. And over the bridge. Hopefully my car's still there. That's it, yeah. I see it now. Windows still intact. Yep. It's all right then. So that's where we continue on episode 4, past that yellow gateway. It becomes a bank, a sea bank that is actually like a tarmac road. So thanks for joining me on this walk today on episode 3 of the NEV COLE WAY. NEV COLE WAY episode 4 will continue to North Killingholme from here, and then towards East Halton, where I will probably end the walk on that day, but I might do it like in 2 parts and do it as one video still. Yep. Anyway, please like, comment and subscribe. Please, 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 please. It really helps the channel, and the channel needs help, believe me. 10 views on a video is not very good, you know. No. I used to get like 5,000 on the Viking Way ones and Roadway, but it's gone down a bit recently. Probably because I'm a load of crap, but hey, that's the way it goes. It will get better, I'm sure. Give it 10 years, I'll be there, or dead.